Let's talk about a situation with In Too Deep.
Yeah,
Um, what happened with the accident?
man, it's crazy. Right in front of my house, man. One of the Into Deep members, Lofty, and his wife, may they rest in peace. Yeah, they was coming down my street right here and was crashing into my avalanche, man. It was crazy. Especially with me being a In Too Deep fan. But yeah, it was, man, tragic day. Especially being so hip hop, you know what I mean? Mourning them, but there was just so many people out here at my crib, from Baby Bash to different people from E40's clique, you know what I mean? It was like tribal drums, DJ. It was crazy. Crazy, man. May they rest in peace, yo. Joy and Tammy Battle, you know what I mean? Tragic event. Being this close to hip hop, and then that happened, you know what I mean? But that's crazy.
So earlier I asked you about how you got started as a DJ. So what were some of those early experiences like? Did you, you know, was it an older brother that had some turntables, or did you go to a party and see somebody that was doing it, or what was that like?
And yeah, it was really my pops. You know what I mean? He had went to Vietnam. You know, he came back with a lot of equipment, reverbs, turntables, microphones. He had a big old record collection. So I'm in there, you know, tinkering around with his stuff. And then all of a sudden, we got the Sugar Hill Gang. You know, they come out. And so we emulating all their raps, you know what I mean? And we just trying to be like them. Then you got the Jimmy Spicers that came a little bit later with the Super Rhymes, you know what I mean? And then we lead into the Run DMC. We got the Mantronics and the Houdini and all these different groups. So we all trying to like emulate them. So like for Christmas, I get a Fisher boombox, and like I said, it had like the little speakers that came off. You know, it had the little main guts, and I came out of that with a quarter-inch jack, hooked it up to a turntable, and that's where I started DJing. You know what I mean? Mixing a tape with a turntable. You know what I mean? Like me and my homeboys around the way, we started doing little battles. You know what I mean? We started getting a little bit more better
What kind of battles?
equipment. You know, battle with the DJs. You know what I mean? We started getting more, you know, better turntables like the realistic turntables. We had the little Pioneer Mark mixer, and then it evolved into the Newmark mixers, and we ended up evolving to 12 Technique 1200s as time went by. You know what I mean? But that was like the evolution of us. You know what I mean? As far as DJs. You know what I mean? When I was in high school, I had my little. I graduated to my little Technique 100s. You know what I mean? We had like created this little group called the Glow Boys, and I was like a little b-boy, so I had my little Puma sweatsuit and my my Adidas and all that, my Puma, with the fat laces and this and that. You know, what I mean, they've seen I was a b-boy, so they kind of set me up where they put me out in a little mall area where we had a little lunchtime. You know, I set up my little turntables and you know what I mean. I started doing my little Egyptian lover skits and going back and forth. You know what I mean. They was really impressed with that. And then I kept DJing parties at my high school after that. You know what I mean. That's how I kept getting bigger and bigger. You know what I mean. Then eventually I met Master P. You know what I mean. So yeah.
As time went on from there, how has DJing changed?
Man, it done evolved so much as far as the cue points and all the different stuff you could do. They got the stems where you could, take out the vocals, the melody, and just have the drums or whatever you want to do. I mean, it's evolved a lot. You know what I mean? I still gravitate towards the vinyl, but I upgraded recently. You know what I mean? Got the Rev 7, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's a game changer. It's a game changer, especially got the rotating platters like the old school. You know what I mean? It's not just the old school Pioneers where they just, you know, it's got the rotation now. So that's a good look too. You know what I mean?
What are some things that people get confused about being a DJ? Because, so I shoot a lot of weddings and I'm looking at the DJ setup.
Right.
And what I realized is that it's not just playing the music.
Right.
You know, you got to almost host the party in a sense. You know, you got to, you know, have a timeline and communicate to people. And
Exactly.
so, you know, what are some things that people, you know, kind of get confused about and don't realize, like, how much work actually goes into it?
Yeah, it's a lot of work. It's kind of like, you know, reading the crowd. You know what I mean? They'll give you a little playlist. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a little routine, but you still got to know how to, you know, tweak it. You know what I mean? It might be just a bunch of dinner music, and then it leads into the ceremony where you got the bride and groom, and then you got the mother and father, and blah blah blah. You got those particular songs, but when it's time for the reception, that's when you want to really warm it up. You know what I mean? Everybody kind of getting their drink on and eating, and you can just see how the crowd is shifting. And then it's got to do with the time too. It might be like 8, almost 9 o'clock. The sun is going down. That's when you start hitting them with the cool little bangers. You know what I mean? It's just all kind of like reading the crowd. It's kind of like a little mental telepathy in a way. You know what I mean? Because I done had so many diverse crowds. You never know what you're gonna run into. But I could please them all. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
What are your
It's just a vibe.
Just the vibe?
Yeah.
What are your favorite type of events to DJ?
Shit, I like doing, you know, annual parties for some of my clients that's, you know, around my age. You know what I mean? I know they flavors, like a lot of the 90s R&B, hip hop, a little earlier, late 80s, you know what I mean? The Tupac and Notorious Biggs, all that. I got a couple gigs coming up pretty soon, and they can send me their playlist, but they really just let me do me because I'm so seasoned in those areas. You know what I mean? So I could be so current right now with a lot of shit and old school. Like I never really miss a beat. Like, you know, I do it all.
Are there any type of events you don't really care for?
I mean, like I always say, I could deal with all the genres of music, but only for a certain amount of time. So if I DJ some country shit, yeah, I would hang, but I wouldn't really want to do it for 4 hours. The same way with some rock shit. I mean, I can go rock, I can go I can go reggae, I can go everywhere. Calypso, blues, you know what I mean? I can go jazz, I can go everywhere. If they paying right, I'll tolerate it.
Can you still use those same methods, like, you know, muting the vocals or taking out the melody with those genres of music too, right?
Word.
Okay.
Yeah, I could do it with anything.
Yeah, that's interesting on what that would sound like.
Yeah, that's the evolution of music, man. It's like Eric Sermon said, a lot of people have it, but everybody don't know what to do with it. You know what I mean? But, yeah, it's crazy. I could take it anywhere I want to and like make my own mixes on the fly. It's like I'm creating my own little wave while I'm DJing. Just taking out what I want to take out, have a vocal playing on top of some other drums or vice versa. Melody with drums and different vocals. So I'm all over the place with it. You know what I mean?